Hi guys, good evening everyone. So today we are going to understand one topic that was left in our classes. So that is mono and flex objects. So what is the purpose of this mono and flex objects? Mono and flex objects are used to achieve reactive program. So if you want to execute your program with the reactive streams, then we are going for this mono and flex objects. Reactive programming means non-blocking execution based on the events. So our code should be executed without having any blocking threads. So that is called reactive program. That reactive programming got introduced in the Spring 5.x version. Okay. If you want to use the reactive programming in your application, you need to add WebFlex starter. Earlier, we used it to develop our application by using web starter. So it will give the controller, REST controller, it will give embedded server as well. Here, if you want to work with the reactive programming, if you want to deal with that, then you need to go for WebFlex starter. Now, by using this WebFlex starter, when we are going to create the application with the mono and flex, what is the purpose of them? Mono object represents single response. Whenever you send a request to the REST API, so if you want to send a single response to the customer, then we are going to do that by using mono object. If you want to send continuous responses, then you need to go for flex object. Mono and flex. Mono represents single entity, whereas flex represents stream of responses. Now, let us see the difference by developing one application. File new Spring starter project. So let me create one application that is 05 Spring Boot REST API. Okay. Here, let me select Lombok dependency, DevTools dependency, and I need to go for WebFlex. Okay. So to go for WebFlex, we need to add reactive dependency. That means Spring Web Starter, WebFlex Starter. That is Spring Reactive Web Dependency. I'm using Lombok, I'm using DevTools, and I'm using Reactive Web Dependency. Click on Next, click on Finish. So with this one, REST API is created. Let us check the dependencies of our REST API. Let us check the dependencies of the REST API. Go here, refresh this project, close unrelated projects. Okay. Now go to pom.xml. Go to pom.xml. See the dependencies that we have added in our application. So here, WebFlex starter we have added, DevTools we have added, Lombok we have added. Now, I'm going to create one simple binding class called customer event. Let me create one simple Java class with a name called customer event. That class I'm going to use as a binding class. New class customer event. Binding. Now, finish. In this class, we are going to declare two variables, name and event date, and we are going to specify constructor. All args constructor and no args constructor we are specifying. I am using here Lombok annotations. At the rate data annotation, it will generate setters and getters for the variables of this class. As I want all args constructor, I want by default no arg constructor will come. I want all argument constructor. So I'm adding these two annotations, no args constructor and all args constructor. Good. This is binding class, which is just used to represent our data. Then next one, I'm creating one class that is called customer REST controller. I'm creating a class with a name called customer REST controller. This class I'm creating inside a package called REST package. Now here I'm going to create one REST controller class, right? So in this class, we will write the methods. We will map those methods to HTTP protocol methods, right? So in general, we are going to create public string get message or public customer event. Basically, let me create one simple method. Customer event is the return type. Get event. Okay, so we can create the object and we can set the data and we can return that object, customer object. Customer event is equal to new customer event. Now, is for this customer event, we can set some data. Customer event parameter is constructor. So let me specify John customer. This customer event is available. Let me take it as new date. Some date object I'm creating. At what time that event got triggered. Let me return this event. Okay. So here, let me map this method to a URL pattern by using get mapping with a slash event. Get mapping with the slash event. Right? It is a normal regular method that we are going to develop in our REST API. Okay. Right click, refresh, run as boot application. Right click, run as boot application. So this is normal Spring Boot application we have created by using Webflux starter. Okay, go to the console and see this. Yes, application started. Guys, you see here, Tomcat server started or Netty server started? Netty server started. When you go with the web starter, Tomcat will come as a default embedded server. Whereas when you go for Webflux starter, we will get Netty as a default server. Netty server started on the port number 88. Netty server started on the port number 88. Okay, go to browser and let us try to access this. Go to browser and let us try to access this. Localhost colon 8080. Localhost colon 8080. What is the URL pattern? Slash event. Slash event. Now we are able to get the response from our REST API. So, but here I created normal method without using any mono object. So here, this is blocking. When this piece of code is executing, that the remaining logic you cannot execute. So if you want to develop a non-blocking application, then we are going to use mono objects. Mono of customer event. So it's specifying customer event as a return type directly. I'm going to specify mono of customer event. I'm going to specify mono of customer event. Now, when I'm going to return, I'm going to specify mono.gester. Mono.gester of this data. Okay. Now, whatever the event object is available, I'm going to specify this event object. All right. So earlier I returned the object directly. Now I am not going to return the object directly. I'm going to specify mono as a return. Now, response will not change. Response will not change, but the thing is, the way that we are writing the code, it is getting changed. Mono, just or empty. Okay. So if this object is available, send that object. Otherwise, send the empty. Send the empty response to the customer when this object is not available. When this object does not have the send the empty object like this. When we are returning single response to the customer with the reactive approach, then we will use mono object function. Now, I want to build a method which will give multiple responses to the customer, not a single response. When a customer sends a request to the REST API, for every 1 second or for every 2 seconds, we want to send the response to the customer. Then we will go for a concept called flux. We'll go for a concept called flux concept. Okay. Now let me create one method which will send continuous response to the customers. How it is going to do that? Public flux of, I'm going to specify customer event. Okay. So here I'm writing get events method. I'm writing get events method. So here, what is the URL pattern for this? So I'm going to specify the URL pattern at the rate get mapping, and I'm going to specify events. So at the rate get mapping value is equal to events, and I'm going to specify producers. what is the data that it is going to produce. Media type dot text event stream value. So that means for every event, one response will go to the client. Here in general, what we will specify, value is equal to slash event, comma, produces is equal to, we are going to specify media type dot application underscore JSON. So we are specifying normal JSON as a response. Whatever the customer object that I want to return from this method, that object we are converting into JSON, media type dot JSON. The object data is converted to JSON format. And here I'm taking flux of events, get events method is available. Here I'm going to produce text event stream value. That means I want to produce multiple responses to the customer. I'm not going to produce single response to the customer. I want to produce couple of responses to the customer. So how we are going to produce couple of responses to the customer? By using this flux concept. Okay. So let me create one customer event object. Let me take it as Smith. Let me take it as a Smith. I have created one customer event. Okay. So from this customer event, I need to create a stream because I want to produce a stream. Stream nothing but continuous flow. Now here, how to create a stream for that? Let me go for stream dot generate. I want to generate stream of responses. Okay. Stream dot generate. I need to generate a stream. Yeah. Let me go for stream rabbit properties stream, not this one. We need to use a method called stream.generate that will give stream of customer event, that is customer stream is equal to stream.generate. There should be a method called stream.generate or stream.off. 1 minute, maybe here, build path issue. Yes, I need to get a method called stream.generate method. We need to generate the stream. Once we get the stream, from that stream, we are going to create the flux object. Why I'm not getting the stream.generate? Java stream object we are using. Java stream.generate. So here, this is how we need to get that stream object. Create a stream object, stream.generate. So with that stream, we are going to get the customer stream object. Once the customer stream is available, using that stream, we are going to create the flux object. Then we are going to set the interval. For every 3 seconds, I want to send the response. Then we are going to combine the interval and customer flux object, and we are going to return the response. So when we construct this flux object with the interval, for every 3 seconds, it is going to send the response to the customer. But maybe some build path issue, I'm not able to get that stream.generate method. Let me check it. Yeah, guys, maybe I think I'm getting the build path issue. So here it is java.util.stream only. So we need to use stream.generate method, but here I'm not able to get that method. Stream.generate. Even I used Java 17 version, but I'm not getting that object. Can anyone try in your system, guys? Can you create one REST controller? I'm not able to call that method. I need to call that method stream.generate. I'm not getting that method here. Maybe some build path issue I'm facing. Change it to Java 17 version. Window preferences. Java. Build path. Libraries. Compiler. Compilation level 10 is available. That is okay. And if I change it to 1.8, streams introduced in the 1.8, we should be able to get it. Build it. Installed JRE. Java 17 is available. Then what issue? Run debug settings. In JRE, execution environment, alternate JRE, JDK 17, class path, JDK 17. Input settings. JRE, I configured alternate JRE 17. Java.util.stream. No, guys, I'm not getting this method. I think some settings got changed in my ID. Can you guys create one API? So this is the logic for that, guys. You should be able to call stream.generate method, which will give the stream object. From the stream, we can create the flux object, right? Once we got the flux object with the data, we need to create one interval object by using flux.interval. We need to combine our interval and flux. So interval flux will be available, data flux will be available. When we combine interval flux and data flux, we are going to get the response for every 3 seconds. Quickly, can you guys open your IDE? Can you create this project? Anyone? I'm facing some build path issue. I'm not able to call that method. Even I imported the package java.util.stream, stream dot, I'm not getting that class. I need to check, is there any issue with my build path? Stream object I'm not getting, but flux object we can create for the interval. Duration dot of seconds. So that means for every 3 seconds, I want to send the response. flux interval is available. For every 3 seconds, we can send the response. Let's try with this. Flux dot from array, from stream is available, from iterable is available, from array. Okay. Let me create one customer event array. It is not coming from the stream. Customer event array is equal to one event, one object I have stored. Event array. Let me pass that event array. Flux dot from array. Event array I'm passing. I'm getting from array. Now from array, flux array I got it. Flux array I got it. So creating data flux. Creating data flux, setting response interval. Now I need to combine flux dot map. So whatever the data interval is available, data flux is available, interval flux is available, we are going to combine. For combine, we are going to use flux.zip of, that is interval I'm going to specify, and flux array, flux data flux, flux data. Let me call it as data flux, and let me call it as interval flux. So interval flux comma data flux we are going to specify for this flux.zip method. So which is going to give zip of tuple 2. From this zip, we need to get the actual data by using zip.map. By using zip.map with the tuple 2, we are going to get that data. Tuple 2 allowed. Now let me change this. Change the project JRE to 1.8. Now we are able to get the tuple 2 to get T2. Fine. Once we got the flux map, now that flux map we are going to return as a response. So return flux map. Returning the flux map. Perfect. So here I have taken two methods, guys. One method I am taking with the mono object. By using this mono object, I am returning customer event. And I have taken another method. That method is having flux of event. So here I created one customer event object. That event object I stored into one array. Using that array, I have generated one data flux. So in this flux, my customer event object is available. So you can get the data from the DB and you can queue that. Here, I don't have any database, so I have hard-coded one object. You can take the data from the DB and you can pass the list of objects which you want to send in the response. Then after, what is the gap that you need to give for the each response? The gap that I want to give for the each response is 3 seconds. For every 3 seconds, I want to send the response. Flux.zip. So here interval flux and data flux is available. So from that I'm getting the response and I'm returning that response. Now event method is available. Events method is available. Event method is returning mono of event. Events method is returning flux of events. Let us see the difference in the response of both methods. Refresh, right click, run as boot application. All right. Good. My application started with the Netty server. Netty server will run on the port number 88. Clear the console. Now go to the browser and make a request. Observe guys clearly how I'm going to make the request. /event. When I send the request to /event, I'm getting single response. Now same if I send with the events. Now observe what will happen. I'm sending a request with events. Now I got one response. Only one object is available. So that single response I got from here. Let me stop it. Let me try change it to the Java 8 flux dot stream. Customer event array is available. Stream dot generate. Java.util.stream, that is customer event stream is equal to stream dot. Yeah, now I'm getting the method stream dot generate. Settings build path issue got resolved, guys. So I'm getting stream dot generate. So I'm giving this event object for the stream flux dot from stream flux dot from stream. Let me pass the stream object. Now I don't need this array. Creating data flux by using stream object. Fine. Now let us try this. Stop the server, run it again. Spring Boot application. Application started. Clear the console. Now, events. Send the request for the events. Now you see, response is coming one time, or for every 3 seconds, one response is coming. Are we getting the single response from the API? Or we are getting continuous responses from the API? Guys, are we getting single response from the API? Or we are getting continuous response from the API? Guys, response is coming in one shot, or responses are coming continuously? Responses are coming continuously. Why we are getting continuous responses from the API? Because of flux. Mono means single response, flux means continuous responses. Here if you see, I created object with the data, then I generated a stream for that. Then I have created flux from the stream. So stream nothing but continuous data. Whatever the response I want to send continuously, I want to give some gap for the each response. For that, I'm giving the duration of 3 seconds. Then I have done flux.zip. So I have combined my data flux and interval flux. Then I have mapped that response. Then I am returning that flux object. So whenever you send the request to this events method, you will get the response for every 3 seconds by using flux. So when you want to send single object as a response, then you will go for mono. When you want to send continuous responses to the customer, then you will go for flux object. Mono response will be available and flux response will be available. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear? When to use flux and when to use mono? Mono means single response. Flux means stream of responses will be available. Very good. This is already part of our microservices notes, which I have given in the portal, guys. So mono example, flux of example, I have already given in the notes. Perfect. Good. Thank you, guys. So with this, we understood how to develop a REST API by using mono object as a response and how to develop a method by using flux as a response. When you are using flux as a response, you need to specify event stream value as a produces, because this method is going to produce the response continuously based on the duration. Duration of seconds 3. If I give duration of minutes, for every 1 minute, you are going to get the response. You can specify how frequently you want to send the response to the customers who are accessing your application. By using this interval, you can define that. Do you want to send the response for every minute, or do you want to send the response for every second, or do you want to send the response every hour or every day? So depends on the requirement, you can define that value. All good? Fine. So whatever you asked about that full stack integration with the JWT token, I will make one video. So by this week, and I will upload that video. Okay. Flux.zip means we are going to combine that. we are going to combine. Clear, guys? So with this, we are done with our Spring Boot class. So that integration, that JWT client with Angular, she asked, I will check that and I will make one video on that. How can we access that secure REST API from the Angular application? I will make one video and I will share that in the group. And for Spring Boot microservices interview questions, already we have uploaded the videos on the channel and we completed our resume preparation also. Some important videos related to Spring Boot microservices, which I have shared in the YouTube. I will share those links again so that you guys can go through that and you can prepare. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for attending this Spring Boot microservices classes. Thank you. The complete notes is available in the portal. The complete notes is available in the portal. Interview questions are already available. Interview questions already shared. And any important video, so which I have, that I'm going to share in our WhatsApp group, guys. Okay. Thank you so much for attending this course. Thank you.